Hey, what's up, man? You asked how to convert samples for the S3000. So here we go. So we're in the app. First thing we want to do is load up the file. So click the select files. I'm going to go to some recent files. So here we go. This is just a sample library. It's the Jungle Warfare Volume 1. At least I think it's Jungle Warfare. Click select files. It loads up all the samples. So here you have all the samples loaded up. You can see right now I'm selected on SCSI, which if you're using PySCSI, that's what you want to be on. You can audition the samples. Okay. So samples are there. You can see their names, information. Right now the samples are all loaded up. It kind of put them into some key groups and stuff, but really we want to make sure everything goes into a proper key group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, first again, I want to make sure you're in SCSI. If you're in GoTech, you'd click on the GoTech, but then I'll put these sizing, 1.6 megabytes for the floppy. So stay in SCSI. You want to make sure your sampler is set to the S3000. So click on sampler. Right now this is on 1000, so I'm going to come down here. I'll choose the S3000, 3200. So now I'm in the correct sampler mode. Hello. Here on the output path, you can choose your folder. So I'm going to go, in my case, I'll just go to my output test. Whoops. Output test 3000. That's just where I put my test files. So now I'm set to my output folder is here, right? My sampler type is here. Got my samples. And now last thing, so two things we can do is if I click the table view, you can see here are all your samples. Right now I don't have any particular parameters or anything set, but just to make sure, it already kind of did it, but just to make sure I'm going to click on this button here, auto create program, do drum one shot for this particular. You could do it other ways, but this is what I'm going to do. Just to make sure, so it builds the key groups programs. So now I have my root note and each key, well in this case it did low, high key. I gotta go back and check that. But either way, you have your samples, here they are, and just click convert. Let it do its thing. It'll just take a minute because obviously there's 545 samples on this particular one. Why it's doing that, so you have, just to make sense, you have samples, you have your sample edit, key group, and program. These are the three things that all mimic what the Akai hardware has in terms of settings. The table view is a lot of information. You don't have to go into that view. That's just so you can see all the settings all at once. So it's kind of a lot, but again, you don't have to use that view at all. It's just there so you can see everything. We have effects that you can tell it which effects do you want to be turned on. The sampler tab you can kind of ignore for the moment. That is my work in progress. I'm going to get rid of these 4 tabs and I'm going to move everything into the new look is going to be the sampler tab, but I'm still building that. So here it is. So just did the conversion, no failures. SD card, so I don't have an SD card plugged in at the moment, but if I did, you could hit scan, it'll detect it, it will put the image right onto the SD card for you, and then unmount it, so you can then pop it out, put it into your SCSI. If you don't, you just hit the output folder, and here you go. It's created right there. Okay, so then you just take that HDA file and just put that right onto your SD card and put it into your sampler. You should be good to go. Hope that helps. Let me know if you're having trouble. And actually, just to show you one other thing while I'm here. So if you click on, just go back to my sample list. So let's just click this guy just so you can see it a little bit easier. If I click on sample edit, so this is what I was saying. This is if you want to edit the parameters of the one sample in a more visual way versus the big table view. You also have your key group. I have to select a key group though. There we go. So you can see your key group parameters. Likewise, you have your program parameters. effects. So these are all the effects that's built into the Akai. So you can choose what effect you want. And one other thing just to show you while we're here, if you click on samples, you can also click on it, click on the slicer tool. And this is kind of like recycle, right? So I can do transients, I can do manual, make some slice cards. So it puts these cards down here. And then you can export it, pull them back into the app, so on and so forth. Okay, so that is the general gist. So you have your slicer tool. You have a couple other things you can play around with, but the main thing is if you just want to do a simple conversion, just bring the files in, auto create the programs, and then hit convert. And you should be good to go. Hope that helps.